Boom, boom. Somebody.
And when they went to the queen to tell her her subjects had no bread, do you know what she said?
Let them eat cake.
Who took the bomb?
We're getting screwed, man. Every time we turn around, we're getting screwed. Oh, the revolution's going to be through podcasting for sure. That's the only way we talk. It's the little guys. The little guys. Peasants, man. We're just peasants. Every one of us.
Streaming.
No,
Thank you very much.
That was not the right button to push.
What's going on? Task in progress.
Turn your camera off. God damn it.
Let's we're just producers, content creator, we're everything all in one.
I was trying to
give me a little zoom there.
That's what I was trying to do.
There you go. That's good. Now let's go you. All right, there we go. We got Robert Kennedy Jr. is taking, that's going to provide over 100 jobs this year. And then I was looking at the areas that are going to be impacted by rare earths and the opening mines and stuff like that. So there is so much stuff going on when it comes
active.
Yeah. But it's just, listen, you got to stop the 60,000 people dying a year from fentanyl.
Yeah.
This is how you do it. Okay. And he's like, if it was killing 60,000 Yale grad students, we'd be dropping nuclear bombs on Mexico City.
I don't understand the difference, because in both situations, you're taking care of it.
He is. But that liberal white woman, she's not. That's my neighbor. And this guy's going, that neighbor's killing your politicians in DC and that elite Ivory Coast network. But since this is affecting Springfield, Illinois, or Springfield,
who sometimes get screwed, is going to make things, but that's because they're actually repping elite people instead of the working class. And the same thing in South America, elite people instead of the working class. And the same thing in South America, to believe our Constitution does not come
and mission that Palantir is a shell for the government.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything's the last sentence that we peasants have to go. The last sentence that we peasants have to go. Sometimes Palantir means CIA, FBI, IRS, Treasury, something else. Okay? They got divisions. Okay, so that is a good perspective. Now here's another thing. That woman who's like, hey, what does it mean to love our neighbors? Woman who's like, hey, what does it mean to love our neighbors? Right? Like, how can we actually do that? Okay, well, they did a study in Europe. I think it's Finnish government in 1982 started a study. The program was legit. These people were seeking some legitimate asylum, and they tracked these people over 30 years. You guys want to hear what actually happens when you have this non-civilizational cultural overlap where you take people from a civilization? Here's the thing. I want to say this before we play this. There's no allegation that had these immigrants stayed in their country of origin, they would have done the things that you're going to hear. There's no allegation of that. Okay. But they have done that had they stayed at home with their family. But this is
30%. They followed the second generation, and of those 321 men, they had about 999 total children. Of those children, 337 of them were convicted of a crime. It's 34%. 132 served a prison sentence, and 370 estimated that these 321 Palestinian $1,000 is insanity. Welfare and
immigrant being kind to take someone from over there, and bring them over here and drop them in and then put them in a situation where you're almost guaranteed it's $900,000.
That's almost
per
enough
zombie
money.
Body.
That's almost enough money to put them in a house and feed them forever.
And open up that tent space for some condos.
Yeah, why don't we have homeless?
And open up that tent space for some condos.
Yeah, why don't we have homelessness in the really cheap towns?
Well, I know my name here to cause suffering that could have otherwise been prevented. Here to cause suffering that could have otherwise been prevented.
Be having open government, and I think that no member of Congress should be getting
Then bring
paid
the House
during,
back into session.
y'all
but it's
are in
already in the
control.
Senate.
You all
The
are in
Senate.
control.
No.
The Senate.
You don't get to say that the House bill automatically passes.
It's a
Sometimes
clean
the Senate
PR that the Biden
does
era
not
spending
happen.
levels. Biden
that
levels.
does
spending
not
levels.
happen.
I have to.
That they put in place. I would.
It's like, actually is a really good one. This is Scott Jennings on CNN talking to David Hogg, our favorite.
Millions of Americans,
shooting
including
survivor.
100,000.
Basically explaining, almost like it's the first time these people have ever heard it. Excuse me, this isn't David Hogg that ends up explaining it. I can't remember her name, but this is all from start to finish. This is all a Democrat creation.
The entire reason the government is not open right now is because Democrats refuse to be complicit in having millions of Americans, including 100,000 in Kentucky, your home state, if I'm remembering correctly, Scott, that rely
on Scott. It is Scott.
ACA that would see their premiums rise several.
Which you can deal with separately. It doesn't have to be, those two things do not go together.
But the way that they're doing this right now, they're combining both.
Voting to support the budget way.
The concept of a plan stage.
No, in terms
they've
of
been in
repealing
the concept stage since 2000.
But David, you would admit that the ACA was a Democrat legislation, yes? And you would admit that the subsidies that we're talking about now were passed by Democrats, yes? And you would admit that the sunset provision in the subsidies in the government today, and then there are some House Republicans that would love to negotiate on it, but under duress, under a hostage-taking situation, connecting disconnected issues, and now you're throwing SNAP onto it. You're throwing all the federal workers who aren't being paid onto it, all because of this fight that you wandered into because of your wing of the Democratic Party.
Nope.
Does this face look familiar to you?
No.
Okay, it's important to know who she is. She's the Jackie Robinson of our generation, bro.
What?
Yeah, she's the first transgender House of Representatives. And
also making a choice. It's on Republicans.
Democrats are making a. Joe Manchin was on with Jon Stewart, and I have to imagine someone like Jon Stewart is like, he's got to be living in kind of like a hamster wheel of a nightmare. You know, he spent. By the way, Dick Cheney passed away last night.
Oh
yeah, he's passed away. Rest in peace. I don't want to be the thing I hate. I didn't really appreciate when people said bad things about Charlie Kirk when he passed away. So I'm not going to say anything bad about Dick Cheney. So I feel like the score is even.
I thought he was already dead.
For point of information, Dick Cheney has passed on, and God rest his soul. May he rest peacefully with baby Jesus.
Just rest.
Just rest.
Just take a rest.
No, do not incorporate Halliburton as a foreign corporation in the kingdom of heaven. All right, don't do it. Okay, so this is Joe Manchin talking to Jon Stewart, and I have to imagine Jon Stewart is kind of like having an awakening every day. You know, every day he sees the Democrats become more and more of what he spent years criticizing.
He beat Hillary by nothing. They want to know what happened to the Washington.
That's it. Yeah. The entire core of the traditional blue dog union working Democrat, the we the people Democrat, the Democrat who looked at his neighbor and said, we have to collectivize our labor. We have to unionize. We have to represent ourselves, our labor. We have to unionize. We have to represent ourselves. That Democrat money. I wanted to have a social safety net for my derelict teenage kid that didn't know if he was going to go to college or not, or my daughter whose boyfriend ran out on him and left her pregnant. That's what I pay for. I don't pay for the 5'4" Honduran that refuses to learn English and does landscaping and drug smuggling on the side. You know what I mean? That's not who I want to see my tax dollars going to. That's well, yeah, if I see him hit by a car, will I render aid? That's well, yeah, if I see him hit by a car, will I render aid? Yes, they're my neighbor. But no, the little crash out. That's a new phrase. I've been seeing average dads crash out on video, and dad's yelling at things, inanimate objects. Isn't that the funniest thing? And men do this. It's like you can't take your anger out on anybody. So all of a sudden some cabinet won't close or door won't latch right. And then pretty soon it's like, remember what problem and
to say, man, I'm glad I
have it sell things. I got charged with obstruction of Congress. That looks pretty obstructive to me. Okay. Yeah. All right. John Solomon, after that motion yesterday, was on Sean Hannity, and he kind of summarizes all of it.
Okay. The charge is lying to come, and in your report is as damning to me as anything I'd ever read.
Yeah. Listen, there are 5 bombshells in this. Lindsay Halligan and Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. You can't lose the irony of that. To the contrary, he directed Daniel Richmond and approved his working anonymously with news media, even though he testified to the contrary. We now know that some of these documents that they found, most consequentially, there are indications in these filings, Sean, that there are other contradictions in James Comey's testimony, including when he said he couldn't recall or didn't remember his own notes. So James Comey's testimony, including when he said he couldn't recall or didn't remember his own notes. So a bad day for James Comey. He was hit by a boomerang today.
Wow. Great work as always.
That's a good way to say it.
Thank you.
His doorways, his hair is like almost hitting its
I think
threshold.
the only guy taller than him is Barron Trump. I think they look eye to eye.
Really?
Yeah.
But I think that would be a really big deal. And as big of a deal as El Salvador was, the next...
Sell those assets when you're taking that, you need the fake. 100%, only 10% of people come back to collect on the... Imagine where they realized every bank in the country except for tiny little banks that didn't know they could break the rules were over leveraged.
Oh my God.
So now they're like, that was blown out last summer.
So it really is monopoly money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, have you seen the new currency?
No.
Oh,
is it pink and yellow? Oh, jeez.
Okay, so let me show you the... Oh yeah, no, they have a total sense of humor here.
Okay. Oh, shut up. shut up. They are not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That is the money,
That is
man.
the exact monopoly money colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
They have a sense of humor. They know exactly what they're doing.
Oh, brother.
You could pull one of those bills out of your wallet right now. Every one of them. It's pink, red, pink for the 5, yellow for the red, for the 10, green for the 20, kind of a bluish hue for the James Grant 100, 50. Yeah, totally.
Huh.
Look, I mean, it's not even, it's
I don't want to look anymore.
Look at all these. That's all I'm saying, man. Yes, man. He was asked about gold. Now, this is a meme video, and this is back when Ron Paul.
Is this guy with Greenspan?
Yeah, this is back.
Central banks hold it. Well, it's the form of reserves. So why don't they hold diamonds? Well, it's tradition. Long tradition.
Oh, well, they don't need to chase the money. We chase the gold.
When he was put in that position, I knew a banker fella who said, "Uh-oh, we're all in trouble."
Yeah, they are. But they've got a good little analysis here. Secured the rare earth deal. Scott's Ministry of Commerce, as of late October, freely exportable. So contrary to the rumors about general or expansion of, and you can verify all that here. Like I said yesterday, I was doing this is a totally new thing. This is going to take the highs off, asteroid iron that's got value. It's like, no, you not just to have a new store of value as in money, as in it's movable. You can have all of your wealth inside of a little USB stick. So it's a pretty incredible new thing. How do you quantify that? Bitcoin advocates say that we could just go all Bitcoin. Like you could eliminate every central bank on the planet overnight and we could just run a Bitcoin world. Why not?
Yeah, you could do that, but then it has access issues probably for some people.
But I think the answer is yes, they do. You're going to have some kind of coin currency, but that's the thing. Bitcoin becomes the reserve. So now everybody's,
on their forehead.
I've heard it works. I've heard it works. I've heard it brings and like certain bubbles that are truly financial markets, totally manipulated. And when the bubble pops, there's nothing left. He says this bubble, like other bubble is similar that he compares to this one. There's going to be something left over, as in the world is going to change dramatically, even though the financial bubble might pop.
And when as they are today about artificial intelligence, for example, is every experiment gets funded. Every company happening today is real. And it is going to change every industry. In fact, it's a very unusual technology in that regard, in that it's a horizontal enabling layer. Today we talk Anthropic and Mistral and so on and so on and so on. There are so many startup companies that are kind of AI companies of various kinds. And that's normal for this activity go up. I mean, by every company, I literally mean every company, every manufacturing. Hard to fathom, but it's real. Very cool. At a $20 billion valuation, even though they just started yesterday, right? That's very unusual behavior. Investors don't use the thing about industrial bubbles. This is a startup companies that were designing drugs. They all lost money, but we did get a couple of life-saving drugs.
Private, and then
a bubble like a banking bubble.
It's going to stack up on us.
The crisis in the banking system. That's just bad. That's like 2008. And so those bubbles society wants to avoid. The ones that are dust settles and you see who are the winners, society benefits from those inventions. They still get those like society from AI are going to be gigantic.
So basically what he's saying is really going to affect it is the hotel companies who adopt it. So now instead of having a QuickBooks program and a booking program and this program and this program and this program, housekeeping, simplify utilization of AI deep into all the places that, it's like there used to be entire office buildings full of people who just did. Imagine how many people Carnegie or Rockefeller had to employ just to count receipts. You know what I mean? And now that can just be done on a mobile app.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands of people. AI makes.
He was describing pretty soon AI will be so good it'll just start showing you what you want to see.
Yeah.
And you won't even have to ask.
And now this is why I think it's ever more ripe to preach individualism. Mm-hmm. Remember who you are, son. You are not the AI. You are not what it's prompting you to buy.
Well, when Elon said that, I thought for a second, like, he's right. And it might be a little bit ugly when the AI starts showing you.
Holy cow, we are issues. We are working on it. And the offendables, stick around. Bye.
Unoffendables.
The unoffendables.
Come on, update. Oh, no.
Can we even end it? What's going on?
I don't know.
You got to re-enter the room.
I had to re-enter. Bong.
Okay, Maria will allow California to gerrymander and redistrict like